Welcome. Good evening. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm definitely very ready in my day to just slow down and be quiet. So I recommend that y'all have as many props as you would need to just really be grounded and supported. Often, for me, when I do a gentle restorative for myself, sometimes I like my body just to hang out in space. But I found tonight that when I practiced earlier, that I really wanted to be supported with extra props. So it's nice to have those, whether you want them or not. So we're going to start in a child's pose. And you can, of course, find your traditional child's pose with toes together, knees apart. Or you can do as I found that felt really good earlier, which is placing a pillow, a longer pillow, kind of in between the legs, almost tucked under the tailbone, but not quite pushed that far back. You can take a block or another pillow that would go under your forehead. And I recommend, if you're choosing this option, to leave a little space for the nose to hang in front of the pillow, forehead on the block. And then you might even do something even more supportive, which is placing a block under your tailbone so that no part of you is hanging out in thin air. And then extending the arms forward. Or you can choose to place one cheek on the pillow and allow the hands to be by the feet, palms face up. Finding that place where your body can just really begin to drop. Can fully accept this moment, this experience. And therefore can start to feel the breath naturally, gently moving the body. So today is a new moon. And what that means is that there is no light from the moon in the sky right now. With the moon and the sun being in perfect alignment, no light shining through. And so what that means energetically is that we are at a perfect balance of yin and yang. So whereas a full moon is going to be full yang, so 100% energy, heat, movement. And a new moon is an opportunity to, with that balance of the yin, is an opportunity just to be slow, to turn inward, to maybe honor the darker, more passive side of you and your nature. So that said, this might be more of a quiet and maybe even more of a still-led practice. As always, continue to listen to your body, trusting that your body knows what you need in this moment in time. Go ahead and take a big breath in and let it go with a sigh. And then begin to release those props that you may have underneath you. And take 2 breaths, dropping down into a full child's pose, resting forehead to the ground. Allow the shoulders to melt down and away from the ears. And then take the right arm and drape it under the left, threading the needle with that right palm face up. And for those of you who are used to finding a twist, wrapping that left arm over, I invite you just to stay for a moment with that left arm extending along the face. And see if you don't notice that you can find a deeper stretch in the outside of that right arm and shoulder. Maybe your body is allowed to drop just a little bit heavier when you also have the support of that left arm. And then if you so choose, if you'd still like that stretch in the front of the left shoulder, then maybe you wrap the arm around the low back. Just be mindful that you're doing that out of awareness and choice rather than out of habit. So staying 100% conscious throughout each posture and transition. Envision your breath going to that right shoulder, as if your lungs are placed in that right shoulder and you can feel the expansion as you breathe in, and the subtle release of any holding as you breathe out. Do that one more time. And then on your next inhale, release that right arm, extend it once again along the left and find a full child's pose. Take a rounded breath. Allow whatever needs to dissipate from that right side to do so. And then we'll just move on to the other side. Left arm draping under the right, left palm face up. The left side of the face on the mat or maybe on a block for a little bit more support. And just check in with that first layer. Coming just to your edge, making a point of not going too far. Again, so that you can really be in that experience. And allow each breath cycle to find full release in that space. You might take it a little bit deeper if you choose, or just stay here and invite your body to drop heavier. Maybe you take another sigh out of the mouth. Maybe you check in with the muscles in the jaw and the forehead, just releasing all hold in the face. Take just one more breath here, and on the exhale, drop even heavier. And then inhale, slowly release out of that. Let the left hand meet the right, child's pose. Take one more breath here. And then we'll begin to walk ourselves through into puppy dog. If you choose, if you'd like, you can take the level 1, just placing a block under the chest and another block under the forehead with arms extended forward, palms face down. We want to keep those hips over the knees. And it's definitely a compression in the shoulders. So going to that first edge, that first place where you feel the stretch. Pausing and breathing there. And then after a few breath cycles, if you find that you need more, you can release the blocks and drop the chest on the earth. Maybe the chin to the earth, gaze is forward. Breathing in and out of the nose. And if your gaze is open, just inviting it to stay soft. Take 3 more breaths here, or if you choose to release down onto your belly. And we'll all slowly come out, just allowing the legs to straighten. Stacking one palm over the other, rest forehead on the mat, on the palm. Allow the heels to drop out. And allow every muscle from the feet all the way up to the hips just to release its hold. Allow the shoulders to release their hold. And just notice that melting sensation. That melting away of what you no longer need. Take one more breath here. Good, and then we'll slowly push ourselves up into a sphinx with the elbows underneath the shoulders, the fingertips spread. And decide how deep you want to go. Again, making this a conscious choice rather than habit. And so maybe you always go into the deepest form. You might choose just to find a little softness tonight by walking the elbows a little bit further so that they might be a little bit ahead of the shoulders. And then once you find your ideal placement, we'll start to open up through the neck. Just take a big breath in with the gaze forward. On the exhale, drop the chin down to the chest. Let that head drop super heavy. As you do so, check in with the glutes. Relax the glutes and the thighs and the calves and the feet. Even relax your belly. And then take a big breath in into the back of the neck. On the exhale, bring your right ear to the right shoulder. Stay there as you nod the head, yes. Opening from the front all the way to the back of the left side of the neck and shoulder. If you find a spot that feels really juicy and you just want to hang out there, then be there for a few breaths. I like to drop my head back and feel that stretch in the front of my neck, allowing my lips to part. And then when you're ready, take your time to slowly bring the chin back to the chest. Taking a breath in. Using the exhale as momentum to bring the left ear back to the left shoulder. Finding a gentle nod. Taking your time to find that space that's asking for the release. That space that has been holding too much. Pause there and consciously choose to let go there with each exhale. It's an allowing. Take as many more breaths into that side as you need. Eventually, though, bringing the chin back to the chest and drawing 3 full head circles in one direction. Moving as slow as possible. Feeling every crevice of the neck. And then after those 3 cycles, Rotate in the other direction. And then when you've completed that cycle, one more inhale, lift the gaze up, push away from the palms and the forearms. Hold the breath in at the top. Sip in a little bit more air. And on your exhale, drop all the way down to the belly. Relax everything. You can choose to place the forehead on the palms or maybe one cheek to the mat. And I invite you here to inhale something you are grateful for. And exhale, saying thank you, thank you, thank you. And do that again. This time it might be something different. I am grateful for. And then thank you, thank you, thank you. Do that again, and maybe this time it's a loved one, or it's a quality within you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll slowly work our way up into Sphinx. This time, Cobra. This time placing the palms so that they're off the mat, fingertips pointing at about a 90-degree angle. And then we'll bring the forehead to the mat. We'll find Cobra flow. On the inhale, lift up from the back of the heart. Let the head follow. On the exhale, drop down heart and then head. So leading with the heart. Allowing the breath to move the body. Something that many of us could probably stand to do in life off the mat. Allowing our heart, our emotions, our core, our spirit, whatever that inner part of you is, to lead our actions rather than the thoughts and the voices inside the head. Next time you rise up, hold there, breathe there, take just 5 breaths. Find the best placement of the neck. So for you tonight, that might be chin hanging down to the chest, maybe neck, head neutral. Maybe it wants to be dropped back, finding opening through the throat. That space that allows you to find truth and expression in your life. One more breath. And on the exhale, release. And if you put one cheek on the mat before, put the opposite cheek to the mat and let everything be heavy. Feel your heart beating inside your chest. Feel your whole being supported by the earth. And then place your hands under your shoulders. Leave them where they are. We'll bend our knees and just windshield wiper the feet side to side. Opening through the hips. I forgot about this one. I was gonna make us come to our seat already. But this one is so nice for opening through the quads and the hip flexors and the hips, especially if you've been sitting a lot lately. This is a really good subtle movement to find release. And now release the feet down, hands under shoulders. Push yourself up into a seat, Sansa pose, just sitting back into the heels. You can take a block and put it under your tailbone if you'd like a little bit of support. And place your hands in your lap, palms down for grounding. Close the eyes and just take a moment to notice what it feels like to sit in your body, to be in your body. You might notice how you feel different now compared to when you first came to the mat. You notice a subtle sense of ease and calm, a realization that there's absolutely nothing to be done. There's nowhere that we need to go or be but here. To find more balance with that yin and yang, we'll do Nadi Shodhana, or opposite nostril breathing, bringing the index and middle finger together right at the third eye in between the eyebrows. And we'll take a big breath in through both nasal passages. Use the thumb to block the right nasal passage. Exhale through the left, all the way out. Find a momentary pause at the bottom. Inhale through the left, all the way in, pause at the top. Exhale through the right. Continue that on your own. Trying to breathe in and out for the same amount of counts. Balancing the sun and moon, the masculine and feminine parts of you. Honoring all of it. And then when you find yourself breathing in through the left nasal passage, release the hand. And let go through both. Take one more breath cycle here. And then on your inhale, lift your arms out and up. On the exhale, bring the palms in front of the body and round through the spine, tuck the chin into the chest, push that breath away. Inhaling all the goodness that surrounds you. And exhaling to push whatever's stale within you away. Inhaling positivity. Exhaling negativity. Inhaling love. Exhaling hate. Inhaling compassion. Exhaling misunderstanding. Do 3 more on your own. You're welcome to push that breath out of the mouth if it feels natural. Next time your arms come up, pause with the palms together. And on the exhale, hands down to the heart. I invite you to see something that you envision for your life, something that you wish to manifest. That can be a whole lifestyle, a whole way of being, or it can be maybe something specifically that you're trying to develop or create. I want you to see it in front of you as if it's already there, almost as if you could touch it. And then take a big breath, soak it in. Let go. Do that one more time. This time as you let the breath go, let go anything that prevents you from really feeling it. Good. And then open your eyes, release your hands. Come all the way onto the seat. And extend the legs out and just with the hands behind you, do a little shake of the knees, maybe a rotation of the ankles, flexion of the toes, whatever feels right. So just find a little bit of release and wake up the body. And then we'll find fire log pose to really open up the outside of the hips. And so we'll start on the right side, placing the edge of the right foot on the left knee with the right knee stacked on top of the left knee. And I highly suggest you taking some blocks or maybe a lot of extra pillows and set yourself up so that you really don't have to do any work when it comes to releasing into this form. So you'll see that I placed one block at the lowest level next to my left shin, and then at the highest level so that my head can be a little bit higher than my chest. And before we release all the way down, I'm going to have you place your right hand on the inside of your right knee and subtly push that right leg forward. And then on the exhale, guide it down. And so we're not forcing it down, but rather we're encouraging that movement of the leg to move out of the hip socket and then to subtly release down. And then find your length. And on the exhale, we'll just round all the way down. You can allow the right side of the face to rest on the bolster. Palms to face up. If you found that as you release, there was some kind of pinching around the knee, I just ask you to lift yourself up and either reposition so that there's no longer a pinching sensation, or you might just allow that right foot to come in front so that you're in a simple cross-legged position. And then go ahead and release yourself back down. And begin to breathe into those spaces that are needing the breath the most. If you find in this or any stretches that some unpleasant emotions or thoughts begin to arise, there are two breaths that you can do. One would be breathing in through the mouth, bringing in cool air, out of the nose. Or you can try breathing in through the nose and out of the mouth with a circle so that it comes out sounding like a gust of wind. Again, just using that breath to release any stale energy or any emotions that you really don't need to be holding on to. It's not a forcing away, but an allowing of the body to let go of what it knows it no longer needs. Just take 3 more breaths here and invite yourself to drop deeper, maybe releasing any props. And then when you're ready to rise up, do so slowly, rounding up one vertebrae at a time. And if you have your bolster perfectly set up, don't ruin that. Just keep it as it is and allow your legs to spread out around it. One more time, you can do a little shake of the knees. Maybe you choose to pad out on either side of the knees, all around the thighs. And if you're choosing that padding option, maybe you come all the way down into the calves and the ankles. Aiding in all flow of blood and lymph fluids. And we'll do the other side. So stacking the outside of the left ankle on top of the right knee. And it does help with the knee if you see that there's kind of no, if you see on the inside of that left ankle, there's a little bit of wrinkles. If you try to flex it so that the wrinkles are almost out, it'll help support the knee if you're somebody that has knee pains. And so, of course, if there's ever any sharpshooting pain, please come out of it and or find the easier posture. And so once again, we'll take our left hand on the inside of the left thigh, right over the left knee, guiding that left leg out of the hip socket, forward on the inhale, and then softly releasing it down on the exhale. It's just a way to kind of prepare that left hip for what's coming. And then we'll just begin to walk ourselves forward and finding your rest. Forehead to the block, or maybe the left cheek. And now notice that if you put your left cheek to the mat, that's going to take the stretch out of the back and keep it more into the hips. So it's a matter of what you're looking for. Once again, finding that position with full consciousness instead of just habitual motions. So I'll leave you here with a little Thich Nhat Hanh meditation. Find your complete exhale. And on your inhale, say the words, breathing in a calm body and mind. Exhale, breathing out, I feel my whole body smile. Inhale, breathing in, dwelling in the present moment. Breathing out, I know this is the only moment. Breathing in, a calm body and mind. Breathing out, I feel my whole body smile. Breathing in, dwelling in the present moment. Breathing out, I know this is the only moment. Take a few more rounds of breath. And ask yourself if there's anywhere else in the body, mind, or spirit that can be softened. Even if it's not a letting go. Maybe it's just a softening around the edge. And when you feel that you're even on both sides, slowly rise up, moving as slow as possible. And then again, extending the legs long. Do a little shake, maybe choosing something different on this side. Maybe choosing just to do nothing at all, but just sit there and hang out and allow whatever releases to release. So allowing yourself to really feel the release. Good. And then we will prep for Janu Sirsasana or head to knee pose. For me, as I said, I'm not feeling the deep stretches. So for me, I'm going to start with a pillow under the left leg, which is extended. You can choose that, or you can choose just to have nothing. And because I want to use my bolster, I'm going to bring the pillow all the way out to the left. The sole of the right foot is going to be on the inside of the left thigh. If you have knee discomfort here, you can place a block on the outside of the right thigh. And then I'll bring this bolster. You can, again, use nothing or use a block or another pillow. On the inside of that left foot, check to see that that left foot is really relaxed, so no flexion. And then we'll just begin to drop down. So sometimes I teach this pose where we find length first and then we drop, but it feels good tonight just to allow the body to immediately go into that heavy state. Chin dropping down into the chest. You can let the forehead rest on the pillow, or maybe it just drops on the inside of the pillow and the pillow can be used to support the chest. You'll probably feel the stretch on the right side of the low back towards the right obliques. And probably a little bit in the left hamstring. So thousands of years ago in India, where yoga and Ayurveda first stemmed, there was an understanding that this openness to the present moment is the best and first food that we should receive every day. And if we miss that sense of presence at the start of our day, we'll move forward hungry, looking to fill ourselves with junk food and junk experiences. So our yin practice is a way of turning back toward being, where we've completely open to being in just this present moment. Between now and 3 breaths from now, begin to round yourself all the way up. And then set yourself up on the other side. And be mindful that you might be asymmetric. So maybe you need something or more support on one side than you need on the other. If that's the case, no judgment, just give it to yourself. Set yourself up, check that you're completely relaxed, and then round through the body. Let the chin drop to the chest. Breathing through the whole back of the body. So feeling that expansion with the inhale from the hips all the way up into the back of the cervical vertebrae. And then simultaneously feeling the release from the neck all the way down the back, weaving through the hips. As you inhale, notice the sensation of getting filled up in the best sense. And as you exhale, notice the sensation of letting go in the best sense. Filling and releasing. ebbing and flowing. Can you release the jaw? Can you allow the muscles between the eyebrows to soften? Can you feel a subtle sense of a smile within? And when it's time, slowly make your way up. You can stay there for as long as you like, and we will begin to make our way to our back. Placing your feet on the ground, knees bent, we will find just a little bit of fluidity here in a bridge pose. Check that there's space behind you, so no pillows or water or anything behind your head that you're going to knock over. Maybe scooting forward on the mat. Check to see that your heels are back towards the hips enough that you can tickle the Achilles with your fingertips. And then on the inhale, we'll just lift the hips up, lift the arms up and along the ears. On the exhale, release down, one vertebrae at a time. Move with the breath and see how deeply you can fill that breath in. Pause at the top. And then exhale, release down. And I'll actually count that breath cycle for us. So let's lift up, breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold up, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Good. And then once you release down, spread the feet wide, drop the knees into each other. Place both hands on the low belly. And just be. You find thread the needle, place the right ankle over the left thigh, hugging the left knee in towards the chest. And now you can choose to stay here. You can choose to place the left foot on a block, or you can go with me into a plow pose, holding that thread the needle by lifting the hips up and over the shoulders, and then walking your shoulders towards each other so that the right knee drops back towards the right ear, left knee towards the left eye. And if you chose that position of the body and then you found that it just doesn't feel good, well, then just come out of it. And if you're here with me, breathe fully. Two more breaths. Maybe there's more depth. On the exhale, slowly release. Watch that block that might be under you. Take a moment to recalibrate before going to the other side. Left ankle over right thigh. Hugging the right leg in towards the chest. Take a few moments just to breathe into that left side. Maybe rotating through the right ankle. And then go into that plow if you so choose. And if you chose this last option, make sure you're staying soft. Make sure you choose it because it's what you really want, not because you habitually go into the most challenging posture. When it's time to release, release with care. And then we will end practice with a supine twist. Knees drop to the right, left knee stacked on top of right. Gaze is up or towards the left. Take just 5 breaths there. You might rest one hand on the belly. Maybe one hand to the heart. You're welcome to come back to the breath where you breathe in what you're grateful for. Breathe out a thanks. We'll move over to the other side. Take your time to get there. This time, maybe you breathe in that wish, that dream that you have. That thing that's so close you can feel it. You can taste it, smell it. It's a part of you. So breathe it in. Believing that because you can see it, it's already a part of your reality. Slowly come back to the center. Hug the knees into the chest. And choose to find a happy baby and maybe rock side to side. Maybe index and middle finger grab the big toes and you find a straddle position. If you still have some extra energy that you feel you might need to get out, I invite you to shake through the hands and the feet and the legs, just allowing your body to release whatever else is there. If you're ready for Shavasana, go ahead and drop down into it. I recommend placing a pillow or blocks underneath the knees, finding the slight release in the low back. Palms rest on the belly, or maybe palms face up. Once you find your place of comfort, let's together take a big breath in and hold it at the top. Go ahead and squeeze the muscles in the body from the feet to the face to the hands, everything. Squeeze it, hold it tight, breathe in a little bit more air. When it's time to release, let the whole body melt. Welcome to Shavasana. Invite yourself to drop deeper, softer. But come back to awareness. And I have a poem to share from Rumi called The Music. For 60 years I have been forgetful, every minute, but not for a second has this flowing toward me stopped or slowed. I deserve nothing. Today I recognize that I am the guest the mystics talk about. I play this living music for my host. Everything today is for the host. As you inhale, notice that sensation of getting filled up in the best sense. Bring your awareness back to your breathing, allowing the inhalations to be longer. And then roll to your left side, your moon, feminine, soft side, to preserve that Shavasana-like state. Notice how willing your mind is able to move into and be with stillness. Notice if those qualities that you felt earlier are still with you. That depth of your being. And then push yourself up to a seat. Palms together, heart center. Bringing the depth of your being to the surface. I want to thank all of you for practicing with me tonight. Your presence is felt from miles away. The God in me, the light in me, sees and honors that God and light within each one of you. Namaste. I hope all of you beautiful ladies have a wonderful evening. And remember to drink a lot of fluids. Even though it doesn't feel like it, we really got a lot out. And so the more that you drink, the more that you aid in the body's release. If you have any questions or any comments, I'll stay on for another few minutes.